Hey guys, welcome back to Resistance Chicks. We're looking very blue on the camera today. Can you make that, just shrink all that for our intro? There we go. Oh, look, now we're not quite so, now we're just really bright. Hi guys, it's October 27th, 2019. It's Sunday. You know what that means? It's around the world in an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Day where we're gonna, but Friday show was awesome. It was literally one of my favorite episodes, I think, that we ever did, covering Kanye West. So here's what I want you to do. If you haven't watched the entire show, watch the entire show. But there is just the Kanye section. I think it's like 45 minutes long. And then my mom broke down the highlights down to 9 minutes, and share that. Share it. There's no reason not to. It's the best news in the world when a soul gets saved, and especially a soul that can influence others. We had so much fun here on Friday night. It was an excellent, excellent show. So you know what? Here's the good news.
Like a quantum shift in the universe.
Here's the good news. We have more good news.
Oh my goodness.
Tell them about the next good news that we have, Leah.
Well, it's not quite the same.
I count it as good.
Not quite in the same vein.
You know what though? It all is, because enemies, bad people being brought to justice, is a good thing.
Al-Baghdadi has died.
And
he
why
died
is that
like a coward.
Why is it important?
All right, so there's this dude. His name is Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi.
Abu. It sounded like you just said boo.
Abu. I said Abu.
It sounded like just boo.
Here's the boo. Here's Abu. I don't know. Listen, I didn't know who this guy was until we all started talking about Syria and ISIS. And gosh, you know, it's so funny how we all have become Syrian experts when in 2016 we're like, Syria, that's like, is that still like a country? I know it's in the Bible. You know what I mean? Then we're like, then we're all like, I particularly am Googling, trying to figure it out.
This is your Google move? From now on, if you Google something, you want to tell us it's like sign language for Googling.
No, I don't get that excited about Googling, because Google's bad. DuckDuckGo is better. No,
okay.
This
would be your DuckDuckGo.
No. Anyways. So yesterday, Michelle's like, so you know Donald Trump tweeted something out at like
6:31. 6:31.
And he says,
something very big has just happened. Period. The end. That's it. And I love that he decides to be so cryptic about things. Like, something very big has happened.
Yeah, exactly.
And I want the entire world to be speculating. Now, here's the thing. Even last night, everybody was speculating that this is what it was, though.
Last night, the United...
Yeah, so let me just go to Donald Trump. Why are we... I know this is UK Euro News.
No, it's world news, and this was a world news event.
This is when you get to interrupt and just say my line. That's fine. I was gonna... Okay. I was like... You're like, no. I'm like, but, no. Okay.
What I mean is right.
But... No, we're playing Donald Trumpy because when we're talking about Syria, we're talking about ISIS, the main reason we're going to talk about a lot of other stories today, about 24 terror plots this year alone being stopped in the UK, is because of ISIS. The founder of ISIS is al-Baghdadi, okay? So with him being gone, you are going to see, hopefully, praise God, you're going to see less. The reason you saw so many terror attacks in 2017 was because al-Baghdadi was still strong. ISIS was fighting strong. And so
they've been so just even demoralized.
They were sending back fighters back to the UK, and then they were inspiring others, because when you're winning, you inspire others,
right?
And there were a lot of terror talks all over France. I mean, it felt like we were just covering another massacre and another massacre and another massacre.
Yeah, it was like all year long.
It was all year long,
and I hate to say it, but it kind of got a lot of subscribers to us. A lot of those live streams that we would cover, like right when it happened, you know, it's unfortunate that that events like that are what draw people.
It is unfortunate. Let's make good news. What
people? Here's the good news.
Drawn in over. Okay.
think it's drawn. Drawn.
Last night, the United States brought the world's #1 terrorist leader to justice. Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi is dead.
It's ridiculous.
He was the founder and leader of ISIS, the most ruthless and violent terror organization anywhere in the world.
True.
The United States has been searching for Baghdadi for many years. Capturing or killing Baghdadi has been the top national security priority of my administration. U.S. Special Operations Forces executed a dangerous and daring nighttime raid in northwestern Syria and accomplished their mission in grand style. The U.S. personnel were incredible. I got to watch much of it. No personnel were lost in the operation.
That's incredible.
While a large number of Baghdadi's fighters and companions were killed with him. He died after running into a dead-end tunnel, whimpering and crying and screaming all the way. The compound had been cleared by this time, with people either surrendering or being shot and killed.
That's pretty incredible.
Yeah, what was also, what was pretty sad about it was that he grabbed a couple of his kids.
Wow.
And he blew himself up. Yeah.
That's awful. And that just goes to show the level of okay, so it's a level of depravity, but then actually as I was saying that, I had it was followed by another thought of, I think he obviously really believed in what he was doing, because I think he blew himself up to get his 50 virgins and his status and for his, whatever legacy, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, you're obviously true. So I guess the White House tweets
Donald
out
Trump with a lengthy address to the nation.
Chris Wallace there. He's just a jerk nowadays. So here's the picture here. This is the
while it was going on, I almost used this for our thumbnail, but then didn't.
Look at all the wires they got.
I was thinking the exact same thing.
Like what we got going on.
They had to tear the center out of that table there for everybody to be hard-lined in to the internet. There's no Wi-Fi going on here. This is every computer and laptop has to be hard-lined in. Probably for security reasons, as well as we need real-time, whatever. But I kind of wonder, were these guys told to make this serious face?
Yeah, I'm sure.
It would have been kind of better if they had done an action shot, when nobody was looking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me get another there's some more clips here. Let's see.
Al-Baghdadi is dead. He was the founder and leader of ISIS, the most ruthless and violent terror organization anywhere in the world. He died like a dog. He died like a coward. The world is now a much safer place. Abu.
So, yeah, he died like a coward. Let me see. I'm not sure. I want to get a couple more clips that I thought I had up. Now I can't, al-Baghdadi isn't trending. Isn't that great?
What was his name? Albert? No, it was Abu. Literally, A-B-U. Isn't that the name of the monkey in Aladdin?
Yeah.
So there you go. BritBoz says, so Baghdadi's house has been redecorated in a rather fetching color of red.
Yeah. Okay. That's nice.
Jack Russell says that dog's life is worth 100 of those scum. I think even more, really. Gonzola says one of the bomb-sniffing dogs got wounded after Baghdadi activated a suicide vest in the tunnel. Well, I hope that the bomb-sniffing dog is okay.
Yeah.
Last night was a great night for the United States and for the world. A brutal killer.
No, play.
One who has caused so much hardship and death has violently been eliminated. He will never again harm another innocent
man, woman, or child.
Is that what you're about to say?
I'm muted.
He died like a coward. The world is now a much safer place.
There's another clip here I want to play for you where he talks about nobody was injured.
I want to thank the soldiers and sailors, airmen and Marines involved in last night's operation. You are the very best there is anywhere in the world. No matter where you go, there is nobody even close. I want to thank General Mark Milley and our Joint Chiefs of Staff. And I also want to thank our professionals who work in other agencies of the United States government and were critical to the mission's unbelievable success.
Critical to the mission's success. So the media now.
I want to thank the soldiers and sailors, airmen and Marines involved.
Nice. I do too. And we do. Thank you for your service.
Yeah.
The media is actually doing everybody a disservice right now because the thing is, why wasn't Nancy Pelosi told? Russia was told. Nobody can praise Trump. It has become a divided nation. It's become a divided world where a man who literally as a conductor orchestrated the violent, mutilating deaths of so many people, who displaced millions of people, who was the epicenter. Syria was the epicenter of the refugee crisis, because what they were, the reason, I have goosebumps, the reason Europe supposedly let in so many migrants was because they all lied and said they were Syrian migrants.
Sure.
What it did was you had, like, you know, a river flowing of Syrian migrants, and most of them men, seemingly. And everybody else was like, oh, we're going to go join them. We look like them.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
and they went in, and then you had, at the same time, you had this great surge from Africa. And the epicenter is ISIS in Syria. Like,
yeah.
And it started with this guy. I mean, somebody said that when Kanye dropped his album, that day that he did, it wasn't necessarily just because Kanye dropped his album, that there was a shift in the realm.
You can just call it the Force.
The Force. There was a shift in the Force. So like my whole life, and for the past 100 years since the invention of the Federal Reserve, and when you realize that all wars are bankers' wars, when you realize that without the Federal Reserve, there really is no World War I or World War II. There really is no invasion of Vietnam. There really is no there's no Korean War. These wars don't happen. These giant wars don't happen without these fake fiat dollars.
Sure.
Because you don't have the finances for these giant machinery. I mean, if you're going to have wars, you're going to have, you know, pistols and sabers and swords and stuff. But with the advent of the Federal Reserve, realizing that even if Henry Ford had created the car, to go from that from Model A to tank takes an inflow of fake dollars.
Yeah.
Okay? You don't have that without the fake dollars, and you also don't have the assembly lines to get people to be making these giant weapons of mass destruction.
Right.
So what I'm saying is that, you know, Patriot Guy, I know she hammers gold and silver a lot, but if you can wrap your brain around the fact that the evil in the past 100 years literally doesn't happen without the fake fiat dollar.
Exactly.
Like, if you could go back in a time machine, if you wanted to stop abortion, you wanted to stop endless wars, you wanted to stop the Democrats from being stupid, you wanted to stop kids from being brainwashed in public schools, you literally can go back.
You know what? Yeah, you can take it even further, and you could say you want to stop the degradation of the black family through the welfare system.
Yeah,
because it wouldn't. So what has happened is the welfare system has encouraged and incentivized black families to split up, fatherless homes, having lots of children out of wedlock. It has literally said, do these things, move to the inner cities, don't be married, yada yada yada. And the only way that happens,
don't live self-sustainably, don't live on the farms.
It only happens through the fake dollar.
So if you could go back and you could do one thing, if I could have a time machine the past 100 years and fix so much, the one thing, there's always going to be evil, but the one thing I would do is I would make it so that there is no Federal Reserve, that those bankers, that treasonous cabal that got together on Jekyll Isle is exposed before it happens, and the nation knows, and you bring back all the information and you stop it. So, but right now we have to kind of reverse all the things that have happened bad since, you know, the rise of ISIS because of what George Bush did in Iraq, and then kind of creating this new idea of caliphate, creating the radical Islamic terrorist. We didn't really
been able to do it without the opioids either, though. Like the money, like the influx, like they said they're going in for weapons of mass destruction, and said we finance them. We end up giving them.
Okay, she's
weapons.
talking about Afghanistan.
I'm just saying, all in the Middle East. It all is related. You can't just say one without the other.
Right.
You know, Bush's war, which is what it was, that he created through 9/11, and I'll just say it. They can take us off our channel or whatever. But there were so many things at play right there. Okay, how is terrorism funded? How are they funded? They need lots and lots of fake U.S. dollars, oil. I mean, there's no end to it all. And it all is linked to whether it's the poppy fields in Afghanistan, whether it's the oil in Iran, you know, whatever. That's how all of this corruption linked to the fake dollar and Bush and everything. That's what I'm saying. It's just all related.
Yeah.
For many years, long before I took office. But at my direction, as Commander-in-Chief of the United States, we obliterated his caliphate 100% in March of this year. Today's events are another reminder that we will continue to pursue the remaining ISIS terrorists to their brutal end. That also goes for other terrorist organizations. They are likewise in our sights. Baghdadi has been on the run for many years.
Okay. No personnel were lost.
And
no personnel were lost in the operation, while a large number of Baghdadi's fighters and companions were killed with him. He died after running into a dead-end tunnel, whimpering and crying and screaming all the way. The compound had been cleared by this time, with people either surrendering or being shot and killed.
So this is breaking news.
It's very interesting that there were people that surrendered as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Terrorists who oppress, no personnel were lost in the operation.
You already said your turn, Trump. It's other
Terrorists
Trump's turn.
who oppress and murder innocent people should never sleep soundly, knowing that we will completely destroy them. These savage monsters will not escape their fate, and they will not escape the final judgment of God.
Wow. And that is the truth.
So, yeah, let me get to the rest of this article. President Donald Trump announced Sunday that ISIS founder and leader Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi has died as a result of a raid conducted by the United States Special Forces. He died like a dog. He died like a coward, Trump said this morning. The president announced the news in a statement to the nation from the White House. Trump said that al-Baghdadi detonated a suicide vest as he was trapped in a tunnel with 3 children as American forces approached.
Unbelievable.
He died running into a dead-end tunnel, whimpering and crying and screaming all the way. Shows that these cowards are truly cowards. He said that the tunnel caved in on al-Baghdadi's mutilated body, but that test results proved later that it was him. Trump said that the American Special Forces landed with 8 helicopters and blew holes into the side of the terrorist compound. He described the raid as absolutely perfect. As though you were watching a movie, he watched most of it. Trump said that no American troops were wounded. They did a lot of blasting. The president singled out American intelligence for praise. Maybe, I'm just kidding. Yeah, we've had a lot with the CIA lately.
Yeah.
We had some incredible intelligence officials that did a good job. The military operation was conducted by American Special Forces Delta Force after it was approved by Trump. according to reports, after al-Baghdadi was discovered by American intelligence in Syria's northwestern Idlib province. The al-Baghdadi first appeared in 2014, establishing the ISIS caliphate with him as the caliph. For 5 years, ISIS and al-Baghdadi inspired terrorist attacks around the world against Western forces and just regular civilians. The world has spent years trying to capture or kill al-Baghdadi, a major step in the ongoing fight against the Islamic State and radical Islamic terrorism. Trump said that he was adamant about finding al-Baghdadi as soon as he took office as president. Capturing and killing al-Baghdadi has been the top national security priority of my administration. Trump said that he did not inform Democrat congressional leaders about the Saturday raid for fear of leaks that would endanger the troops in the operation. We were going to notify them last night, but we decided not to do that because Washington leaks like I've never seen before. There is no country in the world that leaks like we do, and Washington is a leaking machine. House Leader Nancy Pelosi reacted to the news of the death by the terrorists by calling for the House to be briefed on this raid, which the Russians, but not top congressional leadership, were notified of in advance. Yeah. So, and then Fox News' Chris Wallace pressed Vice President Mike Pence on why Donald Trump did not notify Nancy Pelosi. Pence says, I don't think, does the president not trust the Speaker of the House with sensitive national security information? Pence says, I don't think that that was the implication at all. I think from the time that we got actionable intelligence, the president's total focus was on a successful mission and the safety of American troops. Well, Why not tell Nancy? We maintain the tightest possible security here, and when we got the confirmation on Saturday that al-Baghdadi was on site and our troops began to move into the region, as the president said, our aircraft were moving over some very potentially hostile areas. We wanted them to be able to get in and get out. It's a dangerous mission on the ground. They went with the resolve and the determination as president to bring al-Baghdadi to justice, but they went with our prayers, and I just couldn't be more proud. And he keeps talking about the Speaker of the House. Like, Chris Wallace is such a Democrat. It's just so disgusting.
Is there a legal precedence for him to have to do that? No. Or precedent, I should say? No. So you know what? I'm not going to tell this person that is literally trying to impeach me out of office something that is really important to the entire world.
Right.
No, exactly. I'm not going to tell. No, she's literally trying to impeach him. Like, no, I'm sorry. No.
Exactly.
You don't just get to, like, all of a sudden, no, we need to play nice, even though we're trying to, like, and we might even be trying to kill you. Like, we don't know.
Right.
Sad day in America when the Democrats can't stand up and thank the president, thank the U.S. military for taking out the leader of ISIS last night. That's a tragedy. Here's the problem, Maria. The Democrats have impeachment obsession.
Yep.
They are obsessed on one thing, and that is to remove President Trump from office. I tell you what, it's not going to happen. They're obsessed on impeaching President Trump, but we're trying to pass a defense appropriations bill to fund the U.S. military. They're obsessed on trying to impeach President Trump while we are trying to pass bills that will lower the cost of prescription drugs. They're obsessed on impeaching President Trump while we're trying to get this Mexico-Canada trade deal passed. They'll create 170,000 jobs, 70...
So, yeah, I don't want to spend too much time on American news because we are here for Euro news, but he made this... It's pretty sad when you have everybody kind of complaining about this. This should be a big thing. And then you have, I know that, I think it was the Washington Post changed their headline, so it made it look different. It made it, I'm going to see if I can find that. Let's see.
Tinkerbell Bear says, you tell them, Mass Faith 3, the Dems need to do their job that they were elected to do, legislate.
Yes.
Well said.
Let's see if I can find.
Total panic and dread, terrified of the American forces bearing down on him. We were in the compound for approximately 2 hours, and after the mission was accomplished, we took highly sensitive material and information from the raid, much having to do with ISIS, origins, future plans, things that we very much want. Baghdadi's demise demonstrates America's relentless pursuit of terrorist leaders and our commitment to the enduring and total defeat of ISIS and other terrorist organizations. Our reach is very long. As you know, last month we announced that we recently killed Hamza bin Laden, the very violent son of Osama bin Laden, who was saying very bad things about people, about our country, about the world. He was the heir apparent to Al-Qaeda, terrorists who oppress and murder innocent people should never sleep soundly, knowing that we will completely destroy them. These savage monsters will not escape their fate, and they will not escape the final judgment of God. Baghdadi has been on the run for many years, long before I took office. But at my direction, as Commander-in-Chief of the United States, we obliterated his caliphate 100% in March of this year. Today's events are another reminder that we will continue to pursue the remaining ISIS terrorists to their brutal end. That also goes for other terrorist organizations. They are likewise in our sights. Baghdadi and the losers who worked for him, and losers they are. They had no idea what they were getting into. In some cases, they were very frightened puppies. In other cases, they were hardcore killers. But they killed many, many people. Their murder of innocent Americans, James Foley, Stephen Sotloff, Peter Kasich, and Kayla Mueller, were especially heinous. The shocking publicized murder of Jordanian pilot, a wonderful young man, spoke to the king of Jordan. They all knew him. They all loved him. He was burned alive in a cage for all to see on the execution of Christians in Libya and Egypt, as well as the genocidal mass murder of Yazidis, rank ISIS among the most depraved organizations in the history of our world. The forced religious conversions, the orange suits prior to so many beheadings, all of which were openly displayed for the world to see. This was all that Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi, this is what he wanted. This is what he was proud of. He was a sick and depraved man, and now he's gone. Baghdadi was vicious and violent, and he died in a vicious and violent way as a coward, running and crying. This raid was impeccable and could only have taken place with the acknowledgement and help of certain other nations and people. I want to thank the nations of Russia, Turkey, Syria, and Iraq, and I also want to thank the Syrian Kurds for certain support they were able to give us. This was a very, very dangerous mission. Thank you as well to the great intelligence professionals who helped make this very successful journey possible. I want to thank the soldiers and sailors, airmen, and Marines involved in last night's operation. You are the very best there is anywhere in the world. No matter where you go, there is nobody even close. I want to thank General Mark Milley and our Joint Chiefs of Staff. And I also want to thank our professionals who work in other agencies of the United States.
All right, guys. So there you have that. Something none of us really expected. I know we saw pieces of it last night. And I don't know if you guys heard about it, but we heard about it right before actually we went to bed. Well, so it's just,
but anyway, I'm just saying that the encouraging comments, we read them. Like, so they do not fall on deaf ears. Yeah. They actually do make us want to do more videos and put out more content for you guys. So thank you for being here and being such an amazing, amazing encouragement and Resistance Chicks family. We absolutely love you guys. So we love you. God bless you. Remember, it's not just a conspiracy theory if it's actually the truth.
Is he dead?
Oh, so many people are like, oh, it's fake news.
I don't know.
And I'm like, okay, you know what? Like, not everything in this... I said that to a girl that was questioning Kanye. I was like, not everything in this world is a conspiracy, man. Like,
I know.
It's our slogan, but like...
If everything's a conspiracy, then nothing is.
Exactly.
That's why we try to bring out the anomalies.
Right. Yeah. There are sometimes that good things happen. And President Trump does do something in his administration. Like, you do realize that, like, they do kill bad guys in real life. Like, this happens.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be fake just
they
because
don't
it's
always
good.
kill the good guys. All right, we gotta go.
All right, God bless.
I was cold, all alone. No place for home every day. So afraid, but you called my name.